Hi, it's been a while. My Easter video was my last video, and then my parents came. So, yeah, there's a lot to update. I will show you what I have done before my parents showed up. Today, it's Saturday. It's a week after Easter. I still needed a couple days to kind of get myself situated, but today I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm kind of gonna ditch the blonde. I'm kind of over it. I feel like it's like the typical thing you do when you start wanting to cover your grays is you go balayage or blonde highlights, and for me, I'm just like, I don't know, I miss being brunette. I feel like I looked younger as a brunette, so I'm starting to feel kind of teacher looking with the blonde. So I am going to try a new hair color out. I still want it to have some dimension. I didn't want it to be like a flat brown. So I think we're gonna do like a lighter brown. We'll see. But yeah, let's hope it turns out okay. I'm gonna go to Dunkin' first. I got a gift card because I guess like every number of customers, I don't know if it's like the 100th customer or whatever, they get a gift card. And I got one. I guess I was their 100th customer or something, and I got a gift card to get a free coffee. My car is also in the shop right now. I haven't heard anything, so I hope everything's okay. But, ooh, it's like a big airplane going, like a jet. I'm driving the ginormous Lexus. I'll show you what I mean by big Lexus. It's just tall. It's lifted, and I've never driven this car before, so hopefully I'll do okay. I'm not like scared of big cars, but I do get nervous driving other people's cars, so yeah, this should be fun. But let me recap you on what I have done in the house. That way, on my next video, it's just a continuum from where I left off. But yeah, lots of exciting things. Okay, first exciting update right before my parents came was that I finally painted the living room. I was dying to get started, and it was total crunch time before my parents came. I think I got this done within 3 days. But again, I used the Sherwin-Williams interior paint. I think the paint color was Sanctuary. It's been like a couple days, and now I've totally forgot, but I think it's Sanctuary. And trust me, when I painted the color, at first I was a little nervous because it is pretty white. But once I did like 2 coats and then it started drying, you can kind of see there's warmth in the white. So it's not like stark white. And once I finished the space, it was just such a huge transformation that I didn't know that I truly needed. And not just for like interior design reasons, but for emotional reasons. I didn't realize how much the old color was affecting my mood and how I felt in my space. And since I've changed it, it has really uplifted me. I think because it's just bright and light, and that is exactly what I needed, especially during the winter months. And yeah, here I am taking the light plates off. Yes, I'm using a kitchen knife. I couldn't find a screwdriver, so your girl had to get innovative, and it worked. I am going to leave the light plates white. I was debating on changing them, but that's just an added cost that I really don't have to do. But yes, so I got the whole room done, and I think once I put artwork up, it's going to look even better, because it does, I will say, it does look up pretty, empty. The walls look pretty empty, but that would be with any color. Artwork just helps tie everything in. It's like the lipstick after you did a full face of makeup, it's something that you really need in your space to make it feel more put together. And I know on the film, the old color doesn't look that bad, but in person,
I know I mentioned this before, but it did have like a greenish yellow tone to it, and it just made the space just feel kind of like stuffy and sometimes dirty, believe it or not. But yeah, here's the space partially finished. I just wanted to give you guys a show. I'm going to give a room tour later once I have everything put together, artwork, more furniture, my little bar cart in the corner. There's so much I want to do in this space before I show you, but here you can see how it looks just so different. That's one side versus the other side I haven't even finished yet. But yeah, what a big change. I love it. So I'm going to pull 180 on you guys. So one of the days while I was mid-painting, we did have a snowfall day, and it's not really good to paint when it's that cold, so it was a great excuse for me to go to Disney on Ice because they were in town. And hear me out. I know most people think it's for kids, but remember, these people are professional skaters, so it is a skating show. And I actually really enjoyed it. It was wholesome, it was fun, and it was actually really cute to hear the kids really enjoy it. It's just simple, happy pleasures, right? And also, when you live in an area that snows, this is actually a great way to get out of that seasonal depression funk. Just doing something fun and kind of feeling like a kid again. And keep in mind, because this is also a Disney production, there's acrobats, there's fireworks, there's even like a little bit of fire, believe it or not. And so it was a very enjoyable show. My one feedback is their merchandise I thought was really cheap and kind of dumb. I am shocked that they don't take advantage of this kind of show to create some limited edition merchandise, but that's just me. But anyways, great show, and would highly recommend for anyone of any age. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking because I'll let you enjoy a little bit of the Disney magic. And I'm only going to show a little bit because in case you want to take your family, I don't want to ruin the show for you.
Master Wayfinder.
They already have one.
See you up there, Moe.
See you up there, Moana. Dragon.
There she is!
Now, after watching that show and it being, snowy outside, I thought, okay, let's keep this Disney theme going. I decided to cook. I don't know if you guys ever been to the Carnation Cafe in Main Street. They have a loaded baked potato soup that is so delicious, especially on a cold day at the park. And I did purchase a Disneyland cookbook that has supposedly the recipes that of foods you can get at the park, and this was one of them. So this was my first time making it. I just cut a little bit of corners. I used pre-cooked bacon that I got at Costco. Lifesaver hack, by the way, if you don't want to add a little bit more work to your dinner, just using that alone worked perfectly. But this soup was amazing. I can find the link online. I'm sure you can find it online, but I'll try to find the recipe online and link it in my bio. This was a huge hit. It's probably going to be a staple. It's pretty rich too, so maybe not a meal I'm going to make all the time, but definitely maybe once or twice a year. It was so good. And so yes, I added celery, carrots and onion, and I'm gonna saute it in the bacon fat. I did remove the strips of bacon once they cooked, and so I'm just using the fat to kind of saute it down to where the onions are at least translucent. And you can see I dropped some onion probably, and I'm very paranoid about Arthur ever getting to it, so I always have to pick it up before I even move on. But yes, so I'm just cooking it down, and then pretty soon I will add the potatoes. So this recipe calls for 2 types of potatoes. It requires russet potatoes, which need to be peeled and diced, but then it also calls for red potatoes, which also need to be diced but not peeled. And you're just gonna add them into your vegetable mixture, toss them around. The one thing I did differently than it says in the recipe book, obviously you're gonna have to season this, but it kind of asked for the seasoning to be added at the end. But because I'm sauteing, I really wanted to make sure that the seasonings really got into the potatoes. And it's hard to tell in this video, but it is a lot of potatoes. And so I added a ton of pepper because I love pepper. And then I added salt because I know there's the bacon fat, but again, it was pre-cooked bacon, so it actually wasn't as fatty as you would expect. So I added more salt. That way the potatoes have a lot more flavor. And then of course at the end I'll do a taste test and see if it needs any more seasoning. But honestly, when I did this, it was kind of enough. I think I just added a little bit more, but it didn't need a whole lot more at the end. The recipe does call for some flour to help thicken up the soup before you add your liquids in. You do want to just add a little bit of flour at a time, allow it to cook off, and then add a little bit more. That way you're not just dumping a whole bunch of flour in there and it just starts to cake up. You don't want your meal to taste floury, so just a little bit at a time, and then once you finish that, you are going to start putting your liquids in. Now the liquid is just chicken stock. I get organic chicken stock at Costco, and so yeah, you just put a little bit in there. And I think anytime I'm making this soup, I kind of just, I don't want to say fully eyeball it, but I kind of judge it, because everything is different when you're cooking. Yes, you can follow a recipe, but sometimes you have to make your own judgments. And so once I put it in there and it started cooking, I realized I'm gonna need a little bit more liquid, so even though it called for 3 cups, I definitely put a little bit more. And that's totally fine. It didn't change anything. If anything, it just made it more of a soup. Next, we were supposed to add back the bacon that we cooked earlier into the soup. And so I just chopped it up and loosely chopped it up and put it back in the soup. And then you're gonna allow the soup to simmer for a while. Once I allowed the soup to simmer for a little bit, I checked the potatoes, see if they were done. They were. And so what you're supposed to do is get a smasher, and you're just gonna smash it, not like totally. You don't want mashed potatoes, but you're gonna smash it enough where you are gonna create like a soupy consistency, but you still want some chunks. So it's like loose smash, kind of a casual smash. And so you're just gonna do that, and once you finish with that, then you're gonna finish off the soup with some heavy cream. Here's the finished product. You just want to put a little bit more bacon, sour cream, and some chives. And yeah, for a home cooked meal, this was pretty good. And I actually felt like it was pretty comparable to Disneyland. And the final update was we finally started our garden. I started my flowers first because it's still a little too early to do vegetables. So here is what I have: nasturtiums, I'm going to do sweet peas, zinnias, some snapdragons, California poppies, and then I am going to start my green onions. I was going to start my peas, but I'm going to wait. And here I'm going to try these new pods. They're by Jiffy. I don't know anything about them yet, so I will let you know, but that's where I'm putting my seeds in to start.
Alright, so we'll see how this turns out. I gave them also a little bit of plant food, and then I put the lid on so it can act like a greenhouse. That's kind of the whole concept here. So yeah, we'll see how this works. I planted all my flowers in here, and then just a little bit of onion right there. And then I'll do my vegetables in May because it's still a little too early.
So I had to do a voiceover for this part because I totally butchered the name of the flower. I called it a Delilah when it's actually a dahlia. But yeah, I planted a white dahlia in this pot. I also put a couple sweet pea seeds in there just to kind of create a little mix. I really hope it does well this year because in past years I haven't had much success with a dahlia. So crossing my fingers, this works out this time. Okay, and I also planted my lilac here. And she'll have really pretty white flowers. I gave her some fertilizer. Oh, there's an airplane. But we'll see how she does. Just gotta try to keep Arthur from wanting to pee on her. Plus he wants to eat the fertilizer, which I think is pretty common with animals. They like the smell of it. But yeah, we'll see how she does. Hopefully she gets big. And look at it. I got a nice gardening look going on right now. Okay, so I want to get back on to show my hair, but if my eyes look a little watery, it's because I was on TikTok, and sometimes this can happen anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Sometimes when you're, Arthur, that's so rude. Don't be licking yourself. Don't be licking yourself. Look it, we're talking to our friends. You have to be a proper gentleman. What I was saying is, sometimes, you know, when you're scrolling, and I tend to get like animal videos, I think because obviously I love my dog, I'm an animal lover, but in the mix of those videos, you get a sad one. And I literally just saw the saddest video that I have seen in a long time. And it had me bawling my eyes out, because all I can do is think about that poor woman and her dog, and then I think about my baby. It was a mess. So, but I wanted to show you guys my hair before my house starts getting noisy, because my boyfriend's coming back from work. So, yes, this is my hair. I absolutely love it. It's like a reddish brown, because I needed dimension. I didn't want it to just be like a flat brown, because the last time I did it, I felt like, oh goodness. Okay, there we go. I felt like just kind of dull. So I think having a little bit of red adds dimension. And I actually naturally, before I ever dyed my hair, it was brown and it always had a little red in it. So I tend to look okay with some red in my hair. So yeah, I actually really, really like it. I think it makes, I wish I could say it makes me look younger. I don't know, but I think it makes me look fresh, healthy, you know. And she also gave me this really great product that I'm going to try, and I'll let you know. But it's better than the hair oil that you could get at the beauty stores and like CVS and stuff, because I noticed sometimes when you use those hair oils, they make your hands feel like pretty oily too, even after you've applied. This stuff is like a hair serum, and you apply it. It's brand new, Redken product. You put it in, and the residue doesn't stay on your hands. It just literally goes on your hair, and it doesn't make your hands feel all gross and oily, sticky, whatever. But yeah, so happy about the hair. It's a new me, new spring. I don't want to say new year, but you know, a new spring, new me. It's like I'm blossoming, you know, just like everything else outside. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. It's pretty short, but it just was a recap video. Things going ahead really quick. So I'm gonna finish painting the hallway. I am then gonna paint down here, which will be a pretty massive project in itself, because this is a pretty big room. And I also, I'm trying to like space things out so I'm not spending so much money at a short amount of time. That's the only thing about DIYs, is you gotta be careful. As much as I want to have endless video content, I also though don't want to overdo it with the budget. I like to save a little bit before I start something new. But the hallway and this will take up quite a bit of my time. And then, I will finish my paintings that I am doing for the rooms, because I don't really like buying prints. I like real art. And if I'm not finding real art in a quick time, because, you know, art takes time, I usually will paint it myself. So I have 2 paintings that I need to finish. One is for the bathroom upstairs, the guest bathroom. and the other is for down in my main living room. And then I got put together my tiki bar cart, and I think I'm coming to the time where I'm gonna have to make a decision about bringing more of my, mostly all of my stuff from California to here, especially once this room is done, because I'm starting to feel like it's time for me to fully commit and move here. But we shall see. I had a little bit of rules before I did that, because it is a big step. I wanted to get a little bit more commitment before I fully moved over, but I'm hoping it's going to happen soon. We are approaching May, so we shall see. And then I will keep you guys updated with my garden that I started, which I'm super excited. I'm going to have to start my vegetable seeds. And some of the vegetables I am going to buy already as plants, because like tomatoes, I really don't like starting those from seed. I kind of like them already as a plant because I really want fruit a lot quicker. But I'm really excited about my flowers. I hope those do well. This will be the first time I ever grow flowers, so we shall see. But yeah, anyways, I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. I have a lot of exciting things ahead. I also have a trip coming up, and I'm very excited about it. It is a solo trip for myself and for you to come along, and I will be sharing that experience. But yes, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.